Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Neighborhood Conversations, where we chat about inclusive conversations with inclusive individuals, bringing amazing topics, interesting topics to your neighborhood. If you're listening to this podcast in your car, in your home, wherever you are, thank you for joining us today. Today's conversation brings a whole lot about employment and job opportunities, job fairs that is going on. And we have the amazing team members from Teamwork Cooperative joining us today, Pratibha and Darcy. Darcy is a case manager here at Teamwork, and Pratibha is our employment engagement specialist here at Teamwork Cooperative. And we're so excited to have both of them. Welcome, Pratibha and Darcy, to the Neighborhood Conversations. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
I'm good, thanks.
That's good. Thank you so much for joining in. It's a beautiful weather today in Halifax, and it's a beautiful day to have an amazing conversation. So, before we go into the conversation, Pratibha, tell us about your role more, and then I'll let Darcy go on to share about his role as well.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Templeton, for asking me to be a part of this today. I'm very excited to be here. So my role is employer engagement specialist, and what that means is that I work with employers and businesses, and I connect them with qualified workers, also to help them recruit, retain, and develop their workforce. One of the other parts of my role is to also provide employers with training resources, HR tools, labor market information, and also provide them information on government funding. And then from an inside perspective with our team, I share what these employers are looking for from a job employment perspective and bring that back to our team members. And in turn, look at helping our clients get employed.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Pratibha. Darcy, go ahead.
So I'm a case manager, and what a case manager does is they work directly with clients, Nova Scotia work clients, to help develop a strong plan to get job seekers the job that they want. So it can be a number of different things. It can be help with decision making, career decision making. It can be help with job search strategies. It can be also skills enhancement or extra training. Ultimately, we try to put everything together on a client by client basis to try to come up with a return to work action plan that's well suited to the individual and helps them shorten the journey so that they can get back to work as soon as possible. And one of the things that's come up lately is that there's a lot of job fairs, and ultimately, a job fair is the best, quickest, fastest way in this labor market to secure employment. So that's why I was hoping that we could bring this up, because there's never been a better time to take advantage of a job fair.
Awesome. And thank you so much, Darcy, for sharing that. And that concludes going into our next question because, we're here to talk about so much job fairs that's happening that's connected with Teamwork Cooperative. And Pratibha, one of her responsibilities engaging in planning and bringing those key individuals to employers, I would say, to the job fair. So Pratibha, I want to start with this question of first, why is job fairs important, and share a bit of the benefits of individuals, job seekers attending the job fair? What benefits does it bring them? Yeah.
Absolutely. Great question. So it's Job Fair Central right now. There's job fairs going on around the entire city, the entire province, and to say the entire country. And I'll get into that a little bit as well. So some of the benefits of the job fair, they're a great opportunity to network with industry members, an opportunity to possibly impress them and to find good employment prospects for people that are looking. There are so many opportunities, right? So this is job fairs, especially the large ones. They'll host multiple potential employers, which allows people to get at least an opportunity to speak with recruiters from these big organizations or small and learn directly from them. It's also an opportunity for someone to get noticed. So when you're having a conversation and when you're face to face, now that we can be, you can really get to know the person you're speaking with, but they can also get to know you, which in turn can open up many doors and many opportunities. And I've seen that firsthand.
Wow, many doors, many opportunities. I think that that's an amazing way to connect job fairs and its benefits. And thank you so much, Pratibha, for sharing that. You know, it's really important as we look at today's society. A lot of people are looking for jobs, and job fairs has been around for so many. Well, for decades, and I feel that it's developed and it's being very creative in lots of unique ways. So transitioning into this next question to Darcy, what are some tips to prepare ahead of going to these job fairs? Yeah, what are some tips that you can share with us?
So one of the things is that you have the opportunity with a job fair. You've got a longer runway to prepare things because you can find out who there's a before, during, and after kind of tiered approach. So before, you can find out who the employers are. You can do some research. You can do the background. You can make a list of who you want to talk to. Often when you go on, you'll find a ground plan. So you can actually say, well, I want to go to booth 348. And you can get all your ducks in a row. You can even print out little business cards like this, or you can, we have job tip sheets. You can have your resumes ready, and you get to, have a good night's sleep. You get to be ready and sort of attack the job fair on your own terms with all your ducks in a row. So that's the before piece. During, you get to go through. And one of the advantages with the job fair is you don't need a cover letter. You don't need to wait for, will I get an interview or not? You just need to walk up to a table of employers who are there for one purpose, which is to hire you, hire someone, hire whoever comes up to their table. So you've got to jump on all of the other people who may be at home looking at the job sites, because you're actually meeting with the employer, you're actually meeting with the hiring manager, you're meeting with the person who is going to possibly hire. And in fact, we do know of instances where 20 plus people have been hired on the spot at job fairs. And then there's the whole after piece, which is you can send thank you can follow up, you can go through the list of employers and say, oh, you know what, I didn't get to that table, I really wanted to talk to that employer. And you can send out, I was at the job fair, I wanted to connect with you through LinkedIn or any number of different ways. So it gives you a very good methodical way to approach the job search.
Wow, that's really important, Darcy. That's how and I like how you do it like before and during. That's a transition of connecting of how to stay engaged in that way. And Pratibha, to continue the conversation on preparation, do you think it's important that persons to research these organizations ahead of time? I think that that's a important piece when you share those posters. Search the organizations and stuff like that. So elaborate on that and any other preparation that needs to take place. Yeah.
I look forward to my family's security in the future. That's the main goal as a father.
The empowerment from changing careers has really just made me want to get out of bed in the morning.
I'm looking forward to growing my business. So I want to hire people like I was hired. I want to give guys that chance.
Il me fera plaisir de continuer à travailler avec les immigrants francophones en Nouvelle-Écosse.
I'm looking forward to the financial freedom that I never had before.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So definitely most job fairs will post who the employers are going to be that are attending. So that's a perfect opportunity to do a little bit of research, do a Google search on that organization, that company. Some job fairs, they'll also, employers will post what types of jobs that they're looking for. So don't put yourself into a box. There's like, you might say, okay, if it's a construction company, well, the construction company has an accounting firm. They, an accounting department. They have got admin departments. So, I think it's really important for people to think about what, if you're interested in a particular type of organization, then they have other types of jobs. So doing that research, each organization also has a career site mostly, most of them on their website. So you could look at the types of jobs that they do have. What are some of the skills that are required for those jobs? And that's a good way to do your homework. One of the things I say, never go in and asking an employer at a job fair is like, what does your company do? That is a no, because you should know what the company does by your own research. And then on top of that, you're asking some well thought out questions. And through your research, you could have, noticed they were working on a project. So you could say, in my research, I see that you're working on a project where if sustainability is very important to you, then talk about that this is something that drives me. And I noticed about this project. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? So you're making a connection with this employer. And I think that's really, really critical. One other piece, as far as from a prep side, is if it's somebody who is going to require any form of accommodation. So for example, in a American Sign Language interpreter, an Arabic language interpreter, or making sure that the place is accessible, their place of business. Is there going to be a quiet room? These are all things that, it's perfectly okay in today's world to reach out to the organizers and ask those questions. Is there going to be some, I require this, I might be autistic, I might need a quiet room because if there's a lot of people. So I think that's really important for people to feel comfortable asking those questions.
Very, very important. Thanks so much for highlighting that, Pratibha. It's definitely important to know that there's always today's job fairs are being as accessible and accommodating as possible. So reach out, ask questions. Don't be afraid that it's for you to put on your best self and to be who you are and engage in that way. Shifting over to engaging and being branding and professional. Darcy, I have this great question. I always love Darcy is a amazing dressed individual at our office, and so it's always good to get critiques and preparations as we continue to move forward in our clothing, in our professionalism in that way. So, Darcy, what is the right clothing style for a job fair? Yeah, share a bit about that.
It's tough competition with you around Templeton, but I will say, you should be comfortable. You should be yourself. You should dress appropriate for the job. So, you shouldn't be trying to put on airs or pretend you're to be someone that you're not. If the job is a casual job, or it's a construction job, or it's, something like, dress for the role. So, and the flip side of that is if it's a bank or a government job, then you're going to want to wear business casual. Ultimately, whether it's something less formal or something business casual, not necessarily a three-piece suit, but the most important thing is that you're comfortable, because you're going to walk up to an employer and you want to be yourself and you want to be at ease, and you're going to do it repeatedly. So you're going to want also to have shoes that you can walk around. Some of the job fairs are quite large, so you're going to want to be there, and you're going to want to be on your feet for an hour, 2 hours, or longer.
Right. Definitely dress comfortably to yourself, and also making sure it's professional. Thank you so much for that, Darcy. And yes, we have competition in dressing for sure, but I think we equally have our unique style for sure. It's really good. Um, so Prativa, I think it's really good to shift up to some exciting job fairs that are coming up. Now that we're talking about it, there's lots of it coming of that coming up. So can you share a bit of that? Like, what are some of the job fairs that we can have our job seekers attend? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as I mentioned at the top, there's like it's Job Fair Central right now. So right now, specifically, so on March the 2nd, Teamwork Cooperative is hosting a job fair at our Go 3D office, and we have 11 employers signed up, and we have a waiting list. Like there's just so many people that want to be involved. And for that particular job fair, it's a full day. It's from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. We've got government departments, governments that are coming, federal, provincial. We have, local small businesses that are coming. The variety of employers is really important in the job fair because our job seekers have a variety of jobs that they're looking for. So that's really, really important, and we try to strive for that. And so another one that's coming up that is huge, and that I'm working on the planning committee for, is the Nova Scotia Works Spring Job Fair. That is going to be on May the 4th, and that particular job fair is, I don't know how many years in it is. It's over 5 for sure, but we're expecting over 1,000 job seekers. It's going to be held at the Dowplex, and we have already got about 120 employers already registered, and there's a wait list for that. That is huge, and you're going to have every industry there, from large to small. And the criteria to get into that and all the job fairs lately is that the employers must be hiring. So, that's the one where we say, do your research. It's going to be big. There's going to be lots of people. People walk away with offers, actually, from some of these job fairs.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
huge. Yeah.
That's really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of job fairs coming up through the other Nova Scotia Works. There's also industry ones. So we get knowledge of all of that information. We do have a list. So if anybody's interested in learning more about those job fairs, Google search helps, but we have a list as well that any one of our case managers would be able to share with people. And also we're looking at possibly doing before that May 4th one, May 4th job fair, come on in and do maybe an afternoon or a day with us, with our case managers. Go over your resume, do a little workshop on resumes. One big thing too, Templeton, is really important is a little elevator pitch. So when you're talking to somebody, I'm Pratibha, and I have a background in human resources, but I also, I'm working in career services right now, and this is what my skill sets are. So it's important for anybody attending a job fair to know your skill sets, because if somebody asks you, what are you looking to do? What kind of work are you looking for? You want to be able to have a nice, succinct answer to that, where they want to hear more information from you. They want to hear more. So you got to keep them engaged and get them to ask you, because they want to learn more about you. So that's critical. And that's something that we'll look at putting together before the May 4th job fair for clients.
Wow.
Or for anybody interested, not just clients, anybody.
Yeah, anyone interested for sure. Wow, thank you so much, Pratibha. I'm really excited about the job fair next week. On March 2nd. I think it'll be really amazing to connect with the employers, and like you said, it's really unique that you chose the ones who are hiring, not just ones who are just trying to bring information, but they are hiring specifically. So keyword, they are hiring in the listening audience. So be able to research the organizations like Pratibha mentioned, and be able to connect. So thank you so much, Pratibha, again for sharing that. It's always good at the neighborhood conversations where we try to leave hope and encouragement to our listening audience as they continue to move on in this world of chaos, but bringing a lot of different uniqueness to it. So what do you got for us, both Darcy and Pratibha, on a word of the day or a quote or saying that you have? Let's see what you got. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start, Darcy. So for me personally, looking for a job is not easy. It's a lot of work. It's like full-time work. And we here at Teamwork Cooperative recognize that. So, just want to leave you with some hope that there is hope. The big thing is there are employers and they are hiring. So just get that confidence and get yourself ready that morning of, do your prep ahead of time, and get yourself out there. And if you have a mantra, confidence, 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 I think that's going to be really important. But also keep in mind the supportive team that we're here to help you, and please reach out anytime.
Awesome. Thanks, Pratibha. Darcy.
That's a tough act to follow, but I would say you've got this, right? You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, and there are people there that want to help you. And I'm reminded of an anecdote. I met with a client the other day who was quite a remarkable meeting because we had a translator, and I had to explain through the translator because the client spoke no English at all, and I said, "You need to go to the job fair because you will find." You will be embraced by the individuals. This individual is from the Ukraine, and we have a soft spot for helping so many different kinds of people. And the client's going to go and muddle through as best as he can without the ability. But you know what? There'll be teamwork people there. There'll be Nova Scotia Works people there. There'll be employers there. I think that you will find the kind of warmth that the Maritimes are renowned for is abounding at job fairs. So, as I said, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So you've got this.
Awesome. You got this. You got this. I love it. And also that maritime warmth. I think that is so true when it comes down to us at the Maritimes. We're very friendly, open-minded individuals, which is really nice. And all that good stuff. Um, Thank you so much, Darcy and Pratibha, for coming on to talk about job fairs. And we look forward to seeing the amazing updates on job fairs. I think we'll be coming back on to talk about the May job fair to see those individuals later on. But for now, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
On today's podcast, we talked about an amazing job fairs that are coming up. I'm so going to say, listening audience, be yourself. You got this, like Darcy mentioned. Embrace the possibilities, knowing that there are so much more. There's so much more out there for you, and know that our world is a way accommodating as of now because of the educating in way of accessibility and in the way of understanding ways of how to accommodate to bring job fairs such as this to another level. So until next time, I will see you at the next episode where we're going to have lots of more conversations with more inclusive individuals. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. This podcast is funded by the Government of Nova Scotia.